Guys, thanks for coming back. This is US Agent 27 from the MUCollectorClub.com forums, and I'm back today with a Marvel Universe action figure review. I decided to do an older figure. I really need to start reviewing the rest of the stuff that I have, but I was kind of going through my stuff, and I came across Blade. Blade is a sought-after character. He was only released the one time in Marvel Universe. He's never been re-released. I'm really hoping Hasbro at some point does give us a re-release, preferably with a newer body would be nice. We'll kind of talk about that during the review. But he's one of those figures that he peg-warmed for a long time. No one really bought him. And then all of a sudden, he was gone and you couldn't find him. And then he shot up to like 50 or 60 bucks mint on card. He still fetches quite a bit on like eBay. I was lucky enough, I got this off of a collector from one of the forum sites, not MU Collector Club, but the one before that. I can't remember who did it, who gave them to me, but I got a really good deal. I got them for $25 shipped, which I thought was a fair price. Yeah, it's more than more than most Marvel Universe figures, but this was a very rare figure at that time. So we're gonna kind of talk about Blade, and I'll give you my thoughts on him. All right, and I kind of told you a little bit what I thought already, but let's talk about what he comes with. Now, Blade does come with a couple of accessories, so I'm going to set Blade aside. I love that pose. Big shout out to Ashrock, who actually is the one that came up with that pose. I saw it in one of his videos, and I've had my Blade in that pose ever since. Alright, the first accessory he comes with is his little... come on, focus. Like I said, it's little. Maybe. Well, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. It's that little throwing star thing he's got. It's a little tiny piece of plastic. I don't really pose mine with him. There it is. Just had to put it in front of Blade. I don't really pose mine with him because I'm so terrified I'm gonna lose it. I usually just leave it in the bag with anything else I'm not using that belongs to him. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm actually going to put it back in the bag so I don't lose it, because I tend to lose things when I review them. Like I lost a Batarang for my Batman Beyond. I still haven't been able to find that. The other accessory he comes with is this gun. Let's try this gun in front of Blade. The gun is pretty nice. It's, to my knowledge, it's the only time this gun has been used is on Blade. It has a little bit of paint detail right there for the silver clip. And honestly, it's pretty badass. I would really like to see them reuse this at some point for another character. I think it'd be kind of cool. Okay, so it comes with a gun. And the last accessory he comes with is a sword. And if you notice on mine, I took a red Sharpie and I drew some blood on it. I figured, I was never going to sell this figure. So I really just kind of wanted it for myself. And I actually think I painted the blade silver too. Yeah, I did. I painted the blade silver. So, pretty cool sword. It's kind of bent because he's been in a bag for a little while. But you could just, heat that up and straighten it out and then hit it with cold water. It'd be fine. Okay. That's his accessory. We're going to talk about how he holds everything when we get into the figure. So, let's talk about the figure himself. And let's talk about paint. Well, let's talk about paint and sculpt. So, he has, basically, this is the Punisher body, the original Punisher body, and I'm not sure, I think it might be the Punisher hands too, for the sculpt. It's big, it's bulky. He does have this extra belt piece right here, which is kind of cool, but he's still, I don't know, he looks fat. I don't know how else to describe it. He looks bigger, like he should be more muscular, like he's got a pot belly right there. It doesn't help the fact he's got these legs that I can't stand, but we'll talk about them in a second. As far as paint, it's an all black figure. He's got glossy paint on his boots, on his gloves, and a little bit, no paint on his belt either. It's just plain black plastic. So his legs, again, the boots are nice. They have some nice detailing up here. The camera focus. That's what happens when you move too quick. There it goes. So nice paint detail up there. Really what sells me on this figure is the jacket. The jacket is nice. It's incredibly nice. It does have a little hole in the back for a sword. Here, my camera keeps going out of focus on me. Let me back it up a little bit. Hole in the back. Come on. There it goes. Hole in the back for the sword. So that's kind of cool. The inside of the jacket is painted red. And this is kind of like what the new Marvel Legend blade is supposed to be. Is supposed to look like when we get them. The jacket's going to be that way with the red interior. So that's really cool. I do dig that. The head. Oh, head came off. Let me zoom in. My camera is acting up tonight. There it goes. So the head. Head's not bad. He's got his patented sunglasses on. This is the bald-headed version. He doesn't have any tattoos in the back like in the movie or anything like that, which is fine. He's got the vampire teeth with a little bit of blood in the teeth, which I think is kind of cool. Honestly, I have seen customs where they've taken the Luke Cage head and they've swapped it with the blade, and it looks so much better. And I really kind of think that's what they meant to do. I think they were going to release this head on as a vampire henchman or something like that, which would have been awesome to get some vampire army builders. But instead we got this head, and we got the cooler head on Luke Cage. So it is what it is. So that's pretty much it as far as paint. As far as paint goes, I mean, I do like the paint on the figure. It's nice. We'll talk about the last part of the paint when we get to the actual end of the review. So let's talk about articulation. So his head, as you guys can kind of saw, mine just pops right off. It's on a ball, so it doesn't go up or down that much. You can kind of half ball it. Not even really. Side to side, no problem. As far as chest articulation, guess what? He has none. That's right, no diaphragm joint, so he can't move forward, he can't move back. It sucks. All right. As far as waist swivel, yep, he can go a little bit, but this belt is hindering it. See, it can only go that far. Not a big fan of that. He's got these funky arms. There's no bicep swivel. It's actually a pin and socket where basically it's just stuck into the body cavity, and then you rotate the whole shoulder. I don't like that at all. And then he's got these, it rotates at the elbow. So it rotates at the elbow, and then it can go up like that, and back, and it can go back that far. I mean, I am not a fan of this joint. I'd much rather give me double jointed elbows, or even single jointed elbows. That just looks stupid to me. Alright. No rotation at the forearm, it rotates at the wrist here. And if you look at his hand is huge. Alright. So we'll talk about that when we talk about his weapons in a little bit. Other arm is the same exact thing. His legs, they go out like that. That's fine. They can go forward. That's fine. They can't really go back. I mean, they can, but the jacket kind of hinders it. He has this funky knee joint. It can bend that far, not double jointed, single joint. And then look, it rotates at the knee. Again, not a big fan of that, so you could have him doing one of those. I mean, that just, not the greatest. The foot rotates all the way around. It goes up pretty far. I like that. It goes back pretty far. No ankle pivot. So as far as posing him, you really have to kind of work with the figure. Like before I got the video going, it took me a couple minutes to get him in a decent pose. Just maneuvering, his positioning, and that just takes, practice. And a lot of times you can kind of balance him on his coat, which is nice because his coat does kind of hang down on there. So let's talk about him holding his accessories. So as far as his gun is concerned, yeah, he'll hold it. You just kind of wedge it in his hand, and yes, he will hold his gun. So that's kind of cool. But it's only going to go that far. So again, you kind of work with the pose and maneuver the head a little bit, twist the body to get it good. and he will hold it in his hand too. This is the hand I usually have him holding it in, because it is a little bit larger. You just kind of have to maneuver a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but you can easily get him holding his gun. You know, that looks pretty badass, I will say. That looks pretty cool. His sword is a different story, because the way his hands are is they're open like that. There is no way he holds his sword, okay? On this hand, his hand is closer together, but look. No way he holds a sword. You really, I mean, if you have those little rubber bands that come with your figures, save them if you ever get this guy, because you will need them in order to get him to hold his damn sword. That's why the majority of the time when I have him posed, again, I copied Ashrock with his, I have him posed with his sword kind of like half up, and like him reaching for it. And even then, oh, let's see, just popped his arm out. You know, I do it about that far, because I don't really want to bend the sword too much. And then I have him with his gun kind of pointing out. So he's kind of looking like, hey, what's going on? But that's usually how I have him pose. And like I said, that other little throwing star thing, I usually just leave in the bag. I don't even pull that out. Alright, anyway, that is my review of Blade. So overall, do I like the figure? Yes and no. I think I've talked about what I like about it. I love the paint on the coat. I mean, I think the coat's great. I like the little belt piece here. I like the head sculpt's not bad. I like the accessories it comes with. I think the gun is awesome. I wish he had a better underbody. And I really wish we'd get him re-released with a new body. That, you know, they're really missing the boat on that. Blade is a cool character that, you know, he was the first Marvel movie. He's the one that paved the way for movies like the Avengers, and not many people remember that. Blade was the first Marvel movie. He was before X-Men, before Spider-Man. He was the one that, you know, made all of that possible. He should have a good action figure. It's not that hard to do. You've got, you know, all you really need. Throw this on like a Steve Rogers body, paint it all black, or Black Panther's body, done. You know, give him some decent hands, give him a new goddamn head sculpt, and you're fine. You know, or even if you want to reuse this one, I'm fine with that. Just give me a better body to pose him with. And rant. So anyway, that is my long review of the Marvel Universe Blade figure. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. You know, if you guys, am I way off? Am I being too critical? Let me know. Come join us on mucollectorclub.com. You know, come talk about toys and let us know what characters you like, what figures you like, which ones you're looking for. You know, which ones are hard to find in your area, stuff like that. We all want to hear about it. But anyway, again, thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate everyone subscribing. Currently, I think I'm at 39 subscribers, which is, to me, is amazing. I just started, you know, doing this for fun in October, and I've already gotten, you know, 39 subscribers. I've already made YouTube partner, which is why you see ads in my videos. I figure if I get enough people to click the ads, then what I'll do is I'll get some prizes and do some contests on the YouTube channel too, which would be kind of cool. We're almost getting there. I think when we hit 50, I'm going to do a contest, and I'll give away something. So keep on subscribing, keep on, you know, checking out my videos. I really, really appreciate it. And, you know, if you have time, click those ads. That really does help me out too. Alright guys, that's it. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and keep on collecting.